So now the game of the week,
Hmm.
and what did we decide on?
I have no idea. We had an idea, and then I destroyed your idea by making you watch stuff.
Yeah, so originally the idea of game of the week was Realm of the Mad God, right? Yeah, which is a really cute little game. Actually, we recorded about 2.5 hours of Realm of the Mad God.
I didn't think it was that long.
Yeah, 2.5 hours. I know we were having so much fun. It felt like half an hour, but it was 2 extra hours. So that's actually going to be going up this week alongside with this episode. But actually, I guess I should just pass it off to you
to talk about Realm of the Mad God.
To talk about Realm of the Mad God or any of the other 3 games that you showed me today.
I can talk. I've done more in Realm of the Mad God than you have.
So. Quite a bit more.
I don't know bugger all about it at this point. Realm of the Mad God is a free browser-based or Steam-based, because it is on Steam.
Oh, that's right, it is.
MMO that's is very quick. It's a pixel-based MMO that you have little classes of characters. You start out with a sorcerer, and you have a bunch of little unlockables. There's a lot of things you can buy, spend real money on getting. Like you can buy another character slot, or you can buy costumes for a character. They're not important, but they're there. So it's a feature. It's an expensive feature, but it's a feature.
Yeah.
And it has an interesting little unlock system for classes, because you start with the sorcerer, and when you reach level 5 with the sorcerer, you will unlock another class, which was the priest, and so on for the next 4 classes. And you have to hit milestones in each class to unlock another class to try something else out. And it's just a really quick little combat system. It's mouse-driven. You attack and use items with the mouse and switch out your inventory with the mouse, and you move with WSAD. And you just kind of go around and shoot things. There's a lot of little monsters and enemies, and there's dungeons you can go into that have lots of enemies to fight, and you just go and fight everything with them and slowly level up. The max level's about 20.
It is 20 for each character, or for each class?
For what I've found.
Okay.
I only have the low-level classes, so I don't know. I haven't gotten Necromancer yet. I still need to get higher with the Priest.
Oh, that's right. Necromancer's Tier 2 class, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah, there's the Tier 1 classes, which only require a level 5, right?
Yeah.
And then the Tier 2 requires a level 20 of one of...
One... what is it? The Knight requires level 20 with the Warrior, and then everything else requires level 20 with two of each of the other ones.
Okay, and then Tier 3 is you need pretty much 20 with every one of the other character types. Yeah, from what I gathered, it's one of those free-to-play games, or it's one of those free-to-play MMOs that it is free to play, but if you don't want to use your skill by leveling up and doing that, you can pay to win.
Yeah.
Which...
You can buy items and exclusive things with it.
Yeah. Like, I've seen that, like, you can buy pets. I believe there are other dungeons you can buy from other, like, the keys or whatever.
Yeah. You can buy items and higher tier equipment.
Yeah. Which I don't quite understand, because that character slot, if you're not good, is always going to be open. Because if you die, if your character dies, that character's gone.
Yep.
All that stuff you carried,
all progress is wiped. So it's annoying the first couple times, but it is a very quick level up system.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think in like 10 minutes you can probably get up to
10 or so.
Yeah, if you really, really tried to muscle out everybody and all of those monsters around you. Like, cute little game. Like, I love any game that does 8 or 16-bit or 32-bit. because, well, I didn't necessarily grow up in the NES or the SNES era. We kind of came afterwards.
Yeah.
But, I remember going over to friends' places and having a blast playing the old Super Marios, playing, I think at one point I have played a Metroid. But, those old 8-bit games are always so fun to reminisce on.
I grew up with a Sega Genesis in the house, so...
I grew up... Actually, I think this is the point where we're just kind of switching into the general discussion.
The general discussion.
Seamless!
Because I grew up with a Sega Genesis with the 32-bit edition and the CD drive.
Oh, so you had
I think I had the CDX, actually.
Really?
I might have.
So the all-encompassing one, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I kind of grew up on... Let's see, I remember the first video game system I really, really got into was... Is that the one you had?
Maybe.
But I remember the first video game system that I really got to sit down and really play, and it was all mine, was the GameCube.
Yeah.
I kind of grew up with, some early Xbox games, some PlayStation 2 games.
This one.
That was the one you had?
That was the one I had.
Oh, okay.
That exact one. With the disc tray underneath it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't really get my own systems to fiddle with until, like I said, the GameCube kind of rolled around. PlayStation 2 was...
2002 era.
Yeah, 2002, 2003. So I kind of got into gaming a little late in the game in comparison to a lot of my friends who had been playing games.
Had that since I was 3. Had N64 since I was 5.
Yeah, my gaming career, quote unquote, kind of began around 7 or 8, maybe 9 at the latest. And I started with 2 games, 2 polar opposite ends of gaming for the GameCube. I had Sonic Heroes, which, if I'm not mistaken, not a lot of people liked.
Not a lot of people liked.
I liked it, but I kind of grew up on it. I made it all the way to the last level on every character, but I couldn't get past Eggman. And the other game was Prince of Persia: Sands of Time.
It's completely different.
Totally opposite end of the spectrum. And I loved both of them, because... to me as a kid, I grew up, my mom always told me, all that stuff in video games and movies and TV, it's all fake. When did Fight Club come out?
2000...
Early.
Maybe. It was really early.
Yeah. But my mother took me to go see Fight Club. And now everybody knows the infamous scene in Fight Club. Spoiler alert for a super old movie with Brad Pitt. The main character tries to... 99. The main character tries to kill himself so that Brad Pitt's character is no longer in his head.
Yeah.
I saw that entire thing as a kid. The gun going into his mouth and his cheek, fluttering and blowing up. And my mom, very seriously, at the end of the movie, we were leaving the theater, and she said, "Now, you do know that that's not real." And I said, very seriously, I'm like 5 or 6 years old. "Yeah, Mom, it was all special effects and makeup." My mom grew me up on a very real sense of fact and fiction, which is kind of lost on today's generation.
Yeah.
You hear about and you hear and see 10-year-olds go into GameStop or into a Walmart and beg and plead their parents to buy them the new Call of Duty or the new Axe Murderer 82. And
I want to play Axe Murderer. I want to play a game called Axe Murderer.
It wouldn't surprise me if there's something called Axe Murderer something online. It really wouldn't surprise me with how many ideas for video games there are nowadays. But like, I kind of get the feeling that a lot of that is lost on kids today. That sense of reality. Because now I would get very easily enthralled in a video game. Like, I could escape into video games. Tunnel vision all the way. But when I came out, I was out of that video game. I mean, more often than not, I went and I watched TV and I was watching Jackie Chan Adventures or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or
insert cartoon from the 90s through early 2004 here.
Yeah, insert kids WB here. Like, yeah, I just, like, if I wasn't playing a video game, I wasn't in that world. If I was playing the video game, I was in that world, but only because I was playing that video game.
Yeah.
Like, my thing, it very seriously, don't blame the game companies. It's not their fault. They're releasing a product for an older, mature audience. That's why the ESRB was created.
The ESRB was created because of Night Hunt.
I know the game you're talking about. You saw that on Game Grumps too?
CDI.
Yeah.
CDI. It's a Sega CD game that I own.
Oh, you have it too?
It's somewhere. I have a ton of CDI and other games because I had a CDI. It's back out somewhere where the Sega is currently.
But it's why the ESRB was created, because there are some games that are too mature for certain children.
Yeah.
And now, granted, like I said, I was 6, 7 years old when I was able to play Resident Evil, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. But like I said, my mother viewed me as a very different child. I was different from the kids who weren't educated on fact and fiction.
Yeah.
And like, that's kind of my whole thing, is don't blame the developers. Parents should not blame the developers. They should blame themselves, because it's your job as a parent to watch out for your children.
Yeah.
If you know your child is going to act up because they saw something violent, then that means you need to cut them off from that violent medium.
Yeah.
At least until they're older and they understand that the graphic, violent images that they're seeing, for one, aren't real.
Yeah.
Because the moment they realize that it's not real, they could
actually function on that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's real, so I must go do this thing.
Yeah.
No.
And
you have to take responsibility for what your child is viewing.
Yeah. And a lot of parents don't want to blame themselves. And I understand that. No parent wants to blame themselves for, quote-unquote, being a bad parent.
It's because everyone's a bad parent.
Yeah.
Everyone's going through it for the first time.
Yeah.
So it's not, you have nothing to base off of other than other people's opinions.
Yeah. And even parents that are going through their second or third kid, it's a completely different child.
Yeah. No one's the same person.
Yeah. Child A, B, and C could be from parents 1 and 2, but everybody develops differently. Everybody has a different brain chemistry. Everybody has different coding within their DNA. Am I boring you?
No. I'm just tired.
I don't. It's just a very touchy subject for me.
Yeah.
Like, especially when, I hated Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
But now I'm a little more okay with it, thanks to watching Seamus. If you don't know who Seamus O'Halloran?
I think so.
Or
SSOHPKC.
Yeah, or SSOHPKC. After watching all of his GTA Let's Plays, I now know that there is actually a plot line in GTA. It was just all of my friends growing up saying, "Oh no, you just go around and kill people," which is why I was never interested in it, because
you wouldn't like Postal then.
Yeah. Like I like sandbox games. I enjoy Minecraft and or running around on the Halo maps in Forge.
Yeah.
But Grand Theft Auto to me growing up as a kid was a little too large scale of a sandbox, so I stuck to your action adventures of Prince of Persia.
Something that was a bit more direct where you're supposed to go.
But I was always fascinated by characters and story. Like it wasn't even until 7th or 8th 7th or 8th grade I decided I wanted to work in video games.
Look to me for advice. I'm very good at that.
Oh, you are. You really are. But I really do just think that video games they're taken too seriously. Now
they're under what were they? Legally, a while ago, they were put under the same standards as art because they're considered an art form. Because they are an art form.
Yeah,
I did my senior thesis on this.
Yeah, so I'm sorry if a medium requires art, be it music or drawings or I don't know, every little bit that goes into making a goddamn video game, it's a piece of art. However, it's more of a piece of collective artwork.
This is another thing that video games less now because it's getting more used to. They were the new thing.
Yeah.
And the new thing is always picked on.
Oh yeah.
Directly. Music. Corruption of music corrupting your child.
Oh yeah.
Opera, when it first came out as a thing, was thought of as a bad thing.
Oh yeah.
Because it was different and it was corrupting people, and it's no, bad opera, no.
No, yeah, well I remember in the early 2000s, anything bad that happened with a teenager or a young adult or anything like that, if they listen to a certain type of music, specifically if they listen to Marilyn Manson.
Like, nope, that's it.
Yeah, no, it's Manson. It's Manson. It's not the parent. It's not, the school's fault. Oh, no, we can't blame ourselves because they were doing something different.
They were doing something not what people accept.
Yeah,
they weren't listening to that kind of music.
Yeah, and that's always the thing. It's that kind of thing. Or that person.
It's the thing people don't understand. It's new, it's foreign, they're scared of it. Let's blame it for things.
Yeah. If anything goes wrong, it's the new thing on the block. Which, I understand, something new, something scary. Our world has definitely changed very much so from video games in even just the last 20 years. 20 years ago, yeah, sure, you kind of saw some advertisements for video games, maybe like some sponsorship that Sega decided to do with Sonic or something. But, nowadays you go on to, for a while we had G4.
Yeah, we did have G4.
We had a channel, a broadcast channel set specifically to information on video games.
I remember there was a channel on satellite when I was younger that did video game race cameras. Really? Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I can't remember what it was. My friend had satellite, and it was just a channel dedicated to different things in games, and a lot of the time it was just like people racing on like Forza and things. Just the camera shots of it. Like, oh, that's interesting. That's something different.
Forza is quickly becoming my only favorite driving game. For Top Gear. For Jeremy Clarkson.
Just for Top Gear. You need a good reason, is all I need.
Yeah. Well, I got into... Is it Forza 4 is the new... Or not the new one, but the previous one?
The one that you have?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Forza 4.
Yeah. Forza 4 has the Top Gear track. Whole Top Gear track, which means Hammerhead, all of that. And the Kia C''D. Or C. I don't know how it's actually pronounced. I just call it the C''D, because that's what it looks like. If you drive the Kia on the Top Gear track, whole track, you get an achievement called Star in a Reasonably Priced Car. Or if you're in a race and you have a DeLorean and you go 88 miles an hour, I can't remember what the achievement's called. I think it's called Great Scott or something. But only 2 Easter egg achievements in the whole game. Like, you'd think there'd be so many more that they could do. No, only 2.
Yeah.
I checked every guide I could.
Yeah.
Very serious second episode. Actually, episode ran a lot longer
than you thought.
About 20 minutes longer. But as the outro, we explained earlier, the Realm of the Mad God.
Realm of the Mad God video this week at some point.
Yeah, that I still need to kind of work out an upload schedule. But I know EXP'd Gaming is going to either come out at the start of every week, so that's either a Monday or a Tuesday. Miscellaneous uploads will go on whatever day that EXP'd Gaming doesn't go up. I want to bring back EXP'd Craft, and that I want to set on Wednesdays.
We can't run a server, but...
Yeah. Well, we could always hop on a server and check with the moderators if we can record for our channel.
Sure.
But I would like to bring back EXP'd Craft, whether that's you and I on a server, or if it's me solo, or hell, you can pick it up if you decide to. I mean, if you really want to.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm actually going to bring back my Mega Man Battle Network Let's Play.
No.
I would really like to, because the only Battle Network game I've actually played was Battle Network 2, Red Sun, and Blue Moon. But Blue Moon was the one I actually finished. I only played Red Sun up until the end, because I knew the ending was going to be the same general thing.
Yeah.
And, well, next week our audio should be a whole lot better. We'll be getting an actual microphone instead of having to use my laptop's mic. After that, we'll be getting a pop filter, or if the moon and the stars and the planets and everything in the cosmos aligns just right, it'll all show up at the same time, roughly, and there'll be a drastic increase in audio quality.
Yep.
Actually, we should also probably think about doing any console LPs. I love that Jello Cube! Reminds me of Super Meat Boy.
I do actually have this now.
Oh, that's right, and that does up to 480p?
Yeah.
So,
it's not great, but it's functional.
Well, 480p, at least when YouTube registers it at HD, is 720?
Or so.
Yeah, about 720
You've
or
seen
something.
my original videos on the other thing, so you know what it looks like.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's grainy.
A little bit, but, I mean, well, some of the games that come out nowadays are a little grainy anyway. But, yeah, I think that's really it.
Oh, it should be.
Yeah. So, we'll be back, well, I'll be back over here next Monday, probably to record again.
Okay.
So this is either going to go up Monday night or Tuesday morning, which probably means like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Hey, so cute! Look at it jiggle! Jiggly, jiggly! I don't even have to ask you for that one. That one's on my laptop.
You have that. You don't have to ask me that one. I sent you that one already.
Oh, this is great. Alright, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, but...